In the land of Gora, a village in the heart of Delta State, Nigeria, a young lady named Blessing found herself torn between two conflicting desires. Her mother yearned for her to settle down and find a husband. She believed that marriage was the ultimate fulfillment for a woman, a path to happiness and salvation. Her father, on the other hand, saw education as the key to Blessing's success. He envisioned her to be a medical doctor from University of Lagos, pursuing a career and becoming financially independent. He believed that education would empower her and give her the freedom to make her own choices. Blessing's heart was torn. She loved her parents dearly, but she knew that their conflicting expectations were putting her in a difficult position. She wanted to make them both happy, but she also wanted to make her own decisions about her life. Throughout her secondary school, she struggled to navigate this dilemma. Blessing began to feel a sense of hopelessness. She felt like she was trapped between a rock and a hard place, unable to please everyone. She began to doubt herself, questioning whether she was capable of making the right choices for her life. One day, after Blessing's secondary school, she decided to take a break from the constant pressure. She went for a walk in the nearby garden. As she wandered through the trees, she felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. She began to think about her life and the choices she would make. Blessing realized that she couldn't please everyone. She had to make a decision that was right for her, regardless of what her parents might think. She decided that she would pursue her education. She would attend university and get a degree. When she returned home, Blessing told her parents about her decision. Her mother was devastated. She believed that Blessing was rejecting her faith and her values. Her father, on the other hand, was overjoyed. He was proud of his daughter for making such a brave decision. Blessing's decision to pursue her education did not come without challenges. She either does not meet the university's cutoff marks or gets a decline in admission. Her mother continued to pressure her to get married, always comparing her with every one of her peers. In all this, her friends and relatives often questioned her choices. She faced discrimination from people who believed that women should not be educated. She was already 23 years old, and since admission isn't coming forth, her father decided she would learn a skill while waiting for her admission. Blessing agreed with her dad. She was enrolled to learn baking and catering in a well-known shop in the village. She put in her all to learn the skills. She brought in lots of favor to the business. Soon her friends and family started requesting for cakes and pastries from her. At first, Blessing made it for them for free, but after 3 months she started charging for her skills even while learning. And at the end of her training, her boss blessed her. Few days after the celebration, her mom started pressuring her to marry, reminding her how her mates were all married. Her dad, on the other hand, keeps pushing her to go back to school because he can't wait to be addressed as the father of a medical doctor. Blessing has already made up her mind to start her career as a caterer and upgrade as time goes on. She didn't know how to break the news to her dad, so she confronted her boss, who agreed to talk to her parents. When Blessing's boss visited, she tried making her parents understand, but all her pleas fell on deaf ears. The next day, Blessing decided to remind her parents that she is 24 years old and they need to allow her to make decisions for once. She was tired of being pushed, but her dad promised her that if she decides to disgrace him, he will stop taking care of her. Blessing stood on her ground and continued baking and selling to people. The father refused to support her in getting equipment, so she visits her boss every day to help her out in the shop so that she can allow her to use the needed equipment. Blessing needed the money because her father stopped her from eating or using anything in the house. In all this, Blessing's mother wasn't helping out. She kept pushing to fulfill her marriage desires. One morning, Blessing decided to end the whole drama. Her boss had already advised her to move in with her sister in Lagos to start her life. She even gave her the address, but Blessing never wanted to disappoint her parents. After crying her eyes out the previous night, she packed her few belongings and called her boss's sister named Ruth and headed to Lagos. She realized that she will end up being empty if she keeps listening to her parents, after all they have brought her up properly. It's time for her to put her parents' training into action. Blessing wrote a letter that morning, explaining things and apologizing to them. When she arrived at the park, Ruth came to pick her up and assured her that she will accommodate her and their compound is a perfect fit to launch her catering business. She started with pastries and went to a factory to bake when she got cake orders. With time, Blessing added regular foods to her pastry business still in Ruth's compound. She would cook and fry in the kitchen, then bring it out every morning to sell to buyers in front of their compound. The people loved her food so much, but she wasn't able to satisfy them all because her food finishes before afternoon. Blessing gathered all her savings and built a little shop in front of their compound so she can easily cook and fry before the morning batch finishes. Soon she had large workers and customer base. The money was coming in and even exceeding her imaginations. Her plan was to study food and nutrition before opening a standard restaurant. But Ruth advised Blessing to juggle both dreams at the same time since she has workers to run everything for her. She agreed to what Ruth said and opened a standard restaurant in the major city of Lagos while retaining her local restaurant in their compound because she doesn't want to disappoint her day one customers. Blessing wrote her examinations and after all the necessary processes, she got admitted into the University of Lagos to study food and nutrition. The first semester wasn't easy for her because she had left everything concerning school for a long time, but despite the challenges, Blessing kept moving. She was so happy, studied hard, earned good grades, and graduated from university with honors. In these 4 years of being in school, her business has grown beyond what the eyes could see. She made sure to tap into her school, building influence, and made her course mates to eat from her restaurants in all these years. After Blessing's NYSC, she landed a good job and began to build a successful career while maintaining her business. Meanwhile, Ruth was her general manager because she was the most trusted person when she left for school. As Blessing's career progressed, she began to feel a sense of accomplishment and pride. She had achieved her goals, and she was no longer dependent on her parents. She had proven to herself and to the world that she was capable of great things. While in school, Blessing had a relationship with her lecturer's son named Samson, who was a medical doctor. He was intelligent, kind, and supportive. They were in love and needed to go home for her marriage. Yes, she is getting married at age 30, but she is doing that with fulfillment and joy, not being pressured or controlled. When she got home to inform her parents about everything, Blessing's mother was initially hesitant, but she eventually came around. She realized that her daughter was happy and fulfilled, and that was all that mattered. The dad was ashamed of controlling her life, but Blessing cheered him up, reminding him that he isn't just a CEO's father but also a medical doctor's father-in-law. This made her father very happy. The introduction, marriage, and wedding was done successfully. Ruth was her chief bridesmaid while Blessing's boss was the caterer during the ceremony. Their marriage was the talk of the town. Blessing's story became an inspiration to many young women in her community. She showed them that it was possible to break free from societal expectations and pursue their own dreams. She became a role model for women who were struggling to find their place in the world. Blessing was moved by the whole shouts and cheers. She was just happy because she took a decision that changed her life forever. She promised to train her children up, guiding them in choosing their career path instead of forcing a career on them. Blessing's story is a reminder that we should never let others dictate our lives. We should follow our hearts and pursue our dreams, no matter what obstacles we may face. And most importantly, we should always trust in God's plan for our lives. It's okay to be pushed towards the wall, but there is a time to say enough is enough. Like and subscribe for more interesting and educating stories like this. Thank you.